Today I want to get into the Eternal Happiness Convention 2026. Let's go! So first I want to get into the flyer. There's a flyer of this topic and I want to get into this flyer and read it for you and with you, of course. So like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for being here and watching my videos and reacting. Comments if you like, if you've been to the convention, if you have been to conventions before, if you're interested in this topic, maybe you've seen something about it, maybe you're interested in it as well. Just like me, I'm very curious about what they're gonna do. So here I have the Eternal Happiness Convention flyer. It says you're invited to attend. Well, I got something to say about that. Well, attendance of Jehovah's Witness conventions aren't fully free to do so, and they will check you. They will check your intentions first. I get that, of course, because you don't want any people with bad intentions there. But with Jehovah's Witnesses, usually it's very double. They think bad intentions are people that are questioning things, but I also know that people that are questioning things could be ruining maybe well-meant things as well. I'm gonna be honest about this. What I do know is that conventions usually, it's meant for positive nature, like that people are feeling good about preaching for Jehovah. And I think if people are intentionally are trying to ruin that energy, I think they're wrong as well. So I got my ideas about conventions and 3-day conventions, Jehovah's Witness conventions that I've been to, but also I can say that people are trying to spread love and you don't have to, they are in their own bubble and you don't have to ruin that because that's unfair. I think that's unfair. So, but I'm getting into this. You are invited to attend. Well, that has two phases for me, in my opinion, in my experience as well. When I was younger, eternal happiness. So you see that there's this Jesus guy on the cover. It's a beautiful drawing. I don't know. Is it AI? I don't know. I've heard that AI has been used also with these conventions, but I don't know. It says Eternal Happiness 2026 Convention of Jehovah's Witnesses. Very clear what it's about. A very positive nature. They're putting a very positive twist to these conventions and topics as well, more than they used to be. Like I said it before, it was more about punishment of the people by Jehovah. And now you see a lot of, they're trying to keep up with the positive nature that they want to change like more into for the outside world. But they've been preaching other things as well and still do. With certain topics. Visit jw.org to see a complete program schedule and watch the following videos. What happens at our conventions, find out what to expect at a convention of Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay, I kind of wonder what that's about, but I'm not getting into it now. Maybe I'm going to make another video about things like that. I just want to do a quick view of what is going to happen, what people are expecting. I wonder how, I'm just very curious about how conventions are now when I lay it next to what I'm used to and what I've seen. Second thing, the 2026 convention of Jehovah's Witnesses, Eternal Happiness, preview to this year's convention program. So there's also a program. I'm going into that with some highlights later on in this video. Feature Bible drama preview, the good news according to Jesus. How did Jesus use his gifts to benefit others? So there's actually some kind of show. There are episodes of a show about Jesus. There's a guy, I'm getting into that later as well. A guy that is an actor, and I got some information about that guy as well. Apparently, things that I've seen in episodes 1, 2, 3 of the Good News According to Jesus. Watch episodes featured at previous conventions, so you can watch them online as well. But then at the conventions nowadays, right now they're showing this show with this actor that is playing Jesus. Yeah, I've never seen that before, and that is basically the amusement and the drama that we're used to, that they were doing on stage back in the day. I don't know if that's still a thing there, but we'll see. But I know it kind of revolves around these 3 episodes this year. So, there's also another piece of information here. Oh, there's highlights here. Okay, so I'm getting into that. So highlights on Friday, consider scriptural evidence that God and his son Jesus want you to be happy. So a lot of emphasis on being happy. Like Jesus and God want you to be happy. Yeah, so okay. Saturday, discover the path to eternal happiness by examining Jesus' famous Sermon on the Mount. Okay, okay. Then Sunday, in the talk, have you discovered the treasure? Learn how Bible truth has made millions of people happier. So it's like they're trying to draw in people's attention on these topics, and for the outside world, it looks like a very positive walk in stories about blood transfusion and that people are dying and whatever. And this is like a positive cover for these conventions. The good news, according to Jesus, episodes 4 to 6. Watch Jesus teach the crowds, heal the sick, and resurrect the dead. Each day of the convention will feature one episode from this exciting and warm-hearted series. Yeah, I'm getting into that. There's also some kind of rumor going on in this whole thing about Jehovah's Witness, ex-Jehovah's Witness community. Things are going around. Oh, actually, now you can find a convention near you, scan the code or visit. So you can use a QR code or go to jw.org. Free admission, no collections. Okay, so that was the flyer. Overall, it is a lot about Jesus. They want you to know a lot about Jesus. 3 days about Jesus and the good news according to Jesus series. Episodes 4 to 6. They seem to really love this guy that is now playing Jesus in their series that they're making. And they're having on their convention in 2026 is going to be mostly revolving around this series a lot, and about happiness, that Jesus and Jehovah want you to be happy. Okay, I've been on Reddit and I've watched some information about, so it says a small tidbit of information about the Jesus drama. So the whole series, the drama series. Caught up with my dad briefly this weekend, and in between the doomsday fear mongering, he mentioned a couple small things about the Jesus drama that's produced at Bethel, Sydney. My uncle is a Sydney local and an extra on set, along with a brother-in-law too. Apparently, use of AI in their videos goes beyond that short baby bath clip recently and was already used, and they have already used it on at least the part of the drama where they are casting nets and fishing. Apparently, all the fish are AI, not CGI. Also, that the organization is planning to take full advantage of AI with regards to translation, efforts on publications, and articles on the website. I'm not surprised about that. Absolutely not, because they're absolutely inside the new things, the current things, the current technology. They're fully into that. So also, he mentioned that while filming the scene of Jesus overthrowing the money tables in the temple, they did dozens of takes to the point that everyone was completely exhausted. They had to all help pick up all the prop coins after every take. Oh, that's crazy. They had to do everything themselves. Yeah, also because they're Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're allowed to do that. So they are the ones to do that. I've seen these old Bethel scenes about people working their ass off for the people, like for the governing body, for the people in the governing body. People are working their ass off for the people from governing body. So and that they have a similar, identical setup to how The Mandalorian was filmed. A huge 360 LED video wall that creates virtual backgrounds for filming against. Also, the JW actor that plays Jesus, his name is Josh, and he's from Mount Barker area of Adelaide. I hope I'm saying it right. And is around 45 years old and is known to make lots of Monty Python jokes on set. Not a joke, he told me this in full seriousness as passed to him from his brother, my uncle, that has been on set in Sydney. Okay, so there's some quite interesting things here to unpack. So first, so the use of AI is getting bigger. Of course, in general, we see it every day. We where like it's getting crazy sometimes, and I also sometimes really like the use of AI. I don't know. I wonder what do you think about AI? I don't like that creative people and people that make things from their heart and beautiful creative stuff get replaced with very simple AI programs, and people make a lot of money with that because it's so simple and easy to do. But and then AI is also easy, but you can use it for the not right things, and people use it for bad things. People use it for good things, so it's also very helpful. But of course, jw.org is taking it to their advantage to grow their platform. And it's kind of strange in a sense, but also they're on top of their game, apparently. Now that is kind of goes against their rules, I guess. But who am I? Oh yeah, they're working people into exhaustion. People are tired. They had to pick up things themselves on the set, and that sounds bad, but like not uncommon with things that Jehovah's Witnesses celebrate and organize. Apparently, working hard on set again under the idea of we are helping God or doing something godly, doing something divine is, well, exhausting to people in the end. I'm not surprised by that. Okay, so The Mandalorian, so like this Star Wars show, I've seen it a little bit. I'm not very familiar with it, but it looks very cool, and that they're kind of using the same type of set or set idea. They've been getting into it. They've been getting into it. They know their technology, and I really wonder where all that knowledge comes from. Do they have the time? Like I thought at first, Jehovah's Witnesses weren't allowed to educate themselves. Like how quickly are they educating themselves to do this? Like, especially if Jehovah's Witnesses are the ones that are part of it and are creating this. So that is kind of interesting to me. So maybe they can get classes from people that are not Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know. Like apparently that's a thing. I don't know. Because how did they learn? Not everyone is a renderer, like a 3D renderer or something, or like video editor or a filmmaker or doctor. I'm your doctor. I'm your lawyer. Like how you were maybe a lawyer or a doctor before, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, but let's get back to the actor playing Jesus. So his name is Josh in Sydney. Okay. Making Monty Python jokes is actually an interesting thing because I didn't really expect that, but then there's also some Monty Python jokes that are okay to make. It's not fully like aggressively, but then you can question maybe some scenes, some things in Monty Python are not very questionable when you're a Jehovah's Witness. You really need to be careful because that's not necessarily the right thing to watch, I guess. But then he watches that, but apparently they love that guy. They really love that guy. So, Josh, nice to meet you, Josh. So I've also seen on Reddit a story that is being shared, and like a rumor that is being shared that there might be 2 episodes. Like maybe there are gonna be 2 days next year only, not 3 days. It's not gonna be a 3-day convention. It's gonna be a 2-day convention. Let's see, I'm going to read the story for you. 2027 convention speculation. So it's speculation. Sitting here at the end of the Sunday program, and the dude doing the last talk says, here's a preview of the next 2 Jesus episodes that we will get to see next year. This year we got a new episode every day, and could next year it be the year that they cut it 2 days? I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but dang, for those of us who still maybe PMO, so physically and mentally out, next year that would be amazing. So this is apparently it's from JW and ex-JW Tales. That is an interesting idea that they could cut it to 2 days, but maybe the show is just ending there. I don't know. Or like, I don't know, maybe they're introducing something else and they want to kind of keep it a secret, or I don't know. There's a lot to speculate, but I understand Like you can say like, who cares about this? But there are people that are maybe still inside and they have no chance to leave, or it's very hard for them to leave, or they could get their hopes up for family members returning home maybe a day early. That can make a lot of difference for some people, and I think you need to consider that. A lot of people can say like, why, like I see that sometimes in my comments as well, like, why are you still so much talking about this? Why is it still intriguing to you? And I'm like, I am discovering things, anything spiritually I'm discovering, and I'm talking about it, I'm interested in it, and I want to talk about it, you know. I want to get it out. I want to get my story out. This is why I started that, making videos as well, because I want my story out, and I love that. I love to do this. And yeah, so what do you hope for this year? What do you hope for next year to happen within the Jehovah's Witness conventions and the communities and Jehovah's Witness organization? What do you hope is going to change? Do you wish for 2 days, or do you wish for it to stay 3 days, and why? Let me know in the comments. So something that I'm very interested in and that I really missed when I was a child was things to play. Like I was drawing because I loved drawing as a child during conventions, during Kingdom Hall meetings. But I really missed something to work with that was Jehovah's Witness related back in the day when I was little. It also could have helped me to get more into it, and like being Joe's friend, something like that, to be more interested in it instead of this dry information that only my parents were interested in. I was not interested in these watchtowers and like awake the Bible, and like you're not gonna read that as a child, or like at least I didn't. I was not interested in that. It was just dry information talked about by men in suits, and it's just not interesting to me. So I was looking that up. I was very interested in like, what do kids have now to work with? Let's get into it. I've just been looking it up. I've actually also been working with AI in this, but let's see. It says official releases access the convention program and future drama on the official jw.org video page. Okay, so there's some drama, some things like and then basically you can watch the show about Jesus. So you can watch the drama show with Jesus. That can be entertaining, maybe. I don't know. I've not been watching it. I could get into that as well soon, but I've not been watching it. But maybe it's entertaining for kids as well. I don't know. So that's first thing. Ministries ideas. Purchase physical or digital children's activity books equipped with scripture logs and emoji stickers at the Ministry Ideas Convention workbook store. Okay, so there are people developing their own workbooks for Jehovah's Witness children, and I think that's a really good thing. Very nice that they are developing these things. And I can imagine that apparently things like people like my mom would have not really agreed about that, because these things were made by people and not by the official Jehovah's Witness, like not website back in the day, but from the whole Jehovah's Witness team. But on the other hand, these are people that are Jehovah's Witness. I think they're Jehovah's Witness, and they've made that for the kids to enjoy themselves. But yeah, because it's kind of like man-made and not official Jehovah's Witness lecture, my mom wouldn't have agreed on buying something like that. But maybe, I don't know. Also, last thing I want to talk about is like I was looking up like, when are these conventions here, and like in the Netherlands, it's in Utrecht, so it's like in the middle of the Netherlands for me. Let me know where your convention is, where you're going, or where you have been going as well. Where's your JW convention? And I see it's the 14th of August until 16th of August, from Friday to Sunday. And like in the Netherlands, what I do enjoy is that it's actually also in English. And I also see Papiamento. It's from Curacao. It's like we got some in how do you say that? We have these islands, like these Dutch islands, and also like Suriname in South America. And you got this Indonesian, you got this Dutch Indonesian, you got this Dutch Antilles. You also have that. So it's kind of nice. You also have in those, they speak Dutch there, but then also their own language. So papiamento. And I think it's very nice. And yeah, so they are looking after people that have a different language and also sign language. I don't know exactly what they're doing with that, but I don't know fully. I haven't been there for a long time, but I don't even know if back in the day they had sign language, but I think they did, like in a different area, or like I don't know anymore. Maybe there was someone standing there doing sign language. I can't remember anymore. So, but that's basically what I wanted to talk about. Let me know where your conventions are and where you live. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I just want to do a quick view on this convention and also some stuff around it. What is happening? We don't know fully, but there are some speculations going on. And also, apparently, people found out who this guy is that is playing Jesus because they very much love it on jw.org, or the organization. They love this guy. So if you have any other information about this guy, or maybe about the conventions this year, next year, maybe other information, always share it. Oh yeah, before I forget, I just recently made a video with Adam from Finding the Alternative. We talked about New Age spirituality because I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness, and for 6 years I've also been practicing New Age spirituality, and I'm not necessarily doing it that much anymore, but I wanted to talk about it because it was a good time, but it was also a very, very bad time in my life, and I really want to share that story as well. So I did with him. I've been talking with him before, talking about my story leaving Jehovah's Witnesses when I was 15 years old. You can find both these videos up here. You will see them appear like one after the other. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about as well. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.